Hey Shannon, I'm gonna try and keep this video a little bit shorter because it's pretty straightforward workout. What the workout is there's 3 couplets. So there's 3 pairings of 2 exercises. For each of them, they're going to do 4 minutes of work and then getting as many rounds through as they can of that couplet. And then they'll get 90 seconds. They'll move on to the next couplet, 4 minutes of work, 90 seconds rest, next couplet. And you're gonna do that through 2 times. So they'll end up seeing each couplet twice. With these couplets, they should be moving pretty quickly through things. Like they should all be getting a good solid 2 rounds and probably some extra in those 4 minutes. If they're barely scraping by getting 2 rounds in the 4 minutes, they're probably going a little too heavy or picking a little too high of reps on the calories or on the exercises. So just as a heads up there, that's what they should be shooting for. For the general warm-up, just doing the dynamic warm-up kind of in place, or if you have some room, you can have them move around. Try to add in a couple extra things. I might maybe have them foam roll into their quads and glutes at the start, just since we had those heavy squats on Monday, and maybe foam rolling into the lats as well from the pull-ups. But yeah, mostly just a dynamic warm-up. Like I said, they'll throw in a couple extra things. Station number 1, so station number 1, I would have the bike set up underneath the rack, and then here they'll have plates sitting out. It's a really good idea to grab a yoga block and put it so they can rest their plate on there. Otherwise, it's kind of hard to grab it off the floor. So yeah, have some yoga blocks sitting out, and that's where they'll have their plates. That plate ground to overhead is going to be taking the plate. It's kind of somewhere between a hinge and a squat. So it's going to be a little bit like of a squatty hinge, but then they're standing up tall and really popping that up hard. Between 12 to 15 reps there, and between 6 to 10 calories on the rower, or on the bike. Like I said, just making sure that you're letting people know this should be a little bit lighter, like trying to get through a lot of rounds, since they are also getting a good bit of rest between. 90 seconds of rest from 4 minutes of work is pretty good amount of rest. So yeah, just emphasizing, hey, we're staying a little bit lighter and moving quick here. That's station number 1. Station number 2, I would have the rowers out and then the benches sitting next to them. The row is going to be between 7 to 12 cals. Again, that might be different depending on guys versus ladies and exactly where their skill in the rower is. And then they're doing between 6 to 8 each side of a bench step over. That bench step over, putting the foot on the box, coming over. If they can, or if they want to, they can kind of get into a little bit of a hop with it. If they need to, it might be more of a step up and step down. I have that between 6 to 8 just because some the shorter ladies might struggle a little more with that, so 6 is going to be plenty of reps for them, and then some our taller guys are going to be 8. Yeah, and then same thing with the plates. The plate ground overhead is a range just because they bump up in basically 10-pound increments since it's really hard to grab a stack of 3 plates. So basically it's 25, 35, 45, 55 is really what you can have people using. Maybe 20 pounds, you could have them grabbing just 2 10s. But they take a little bit bigger jumps, so that's where, again, somebody might be using a little bit heavier weight and using a little bit less reps, or vice versa. Anyways, last station is going to be 3 times down and back of a carry of their choice. What they want to do is up to them. That can switch each round. What I would recommend to people is that they stick to the same variation of a carry for all 3 times down and back, since we are trying to kind of cruise through this. We don't want people having to switch kettlebells and switch grips every single time that they get back. So picking one variation and sticking with that. So that can be farmers, that could be a suitcase carry, that could be a front rack, a single arm front rack, overhead, whatever they kind of want to do, or any combination thereof. 3 times down and back. Again, a little bit lighter on things, trying to really get down and back quick. And then where the bikes and rowers are, I would have some different heights of boxes set up just so people can do their push-ups there, and they can make them taller or lower as needed. Let them know, again, we're trying to get through quick, so we'd rather see them elevating those a little bit more and not doing 5 and then needing to rest for 20 seconds to do another 5 push-ups. As far as the specific warm-up, have them get in some practice reps of the plate ground overhead, have them get in some practice reps of the bench step overs, and then a few practice reps of the push-ups. I would maybe do like 2 rounds through some practice reps of each of those. So yeah, that's it. Let me know if you have any questions. Cool.